What we're doing now with the additional facility we've announced today with respect to the Expandable Graphite Project in Germany is further building out that industrial capability of the business and finding an additional way to generate more cash flow and revenues for the company in that period whilst we develop the larger Springdale Graphite Project business.
International Graphite has joined forces with Norway-based Arctic Graphite to establish a new expandable graphite production facility over in Germany. This is a major development for Australia's first industrial graphite producer. And to find out more about this, International Graphite's Managing Director and CEO Andrew Worland joins me now. Andrew, it's great to have you here with me this morning. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Pleasure to be with you.
Andrew, let's perhaps take a bit of a step back here and introduce International Graphite to our audience or potential shareholders as well. What projects are you guys handling at this point in time, and how does this joint venture help you become a vertically integrated graphite producer? We do know and we are aware that there is a global shortage of graphite at the moment.
International Graphite's building our business based off three pillars. The first of those is what we refer to as an industrial market presence. And we believe that is a low capital cost way in which we can enter the marketplace and generate cash flow for our shareholders in the very short term. And that's the basis for the development of our Collie micronizing facility. The development of these facilities, though, is very consistent with the desire to get into the battery anode market through the process flow sheets involved with the preparation of battery anode materials. And so, as we know, micronizing, spheroidizing, purification are all critical components of industrial markets, but also on the pathway to the battery anode prior to getting to the coating phase. Our second pillar is the Springdale Graphite Project, the development of the Springdale Graphite Project on the south coast of Western Australia, which we believe is going to be a long life mine generating fines concentrates perfectly suited for micronized markets and also perfectly suited for the battery anode market. So what we're doing with the industrial phase of the business is totally complementary to what we see or how we see the Springdale Graphite Project evolving. The third pillar is the development of the downstream facilities for Springdale, specifically the fines concentrates and specifically for the lithium-ion battery energy storage markets. And so what we're doing now with the additional facility we've announced today with respect to the Expandable Graphite Project in Germany is further building out that industrial capability of the business and finding an additional way to generate more cash flow and revenues for the company in that period whilst we develop the larger Springdale Graphite Project business.
Andrew, why have you chosen Germany as the location for the facility, and why is...
Well, the key for us, we think, is the actual quality of the partnership that we're entering into. So Arctic Graphite shareholders include LNS, which is one of the largest mining and civil contractors in Norway. They have an extraordinary experience in mining, but also in graphite. They're a previous owner and operator of the Skarland graphite mine in Norway, which is one of Europe's preeminent graphite operations. And so they bring to the table a lot of mining experience, but a lot of product marketing experience and how our particular types of concentrates from the mining operations can enter the marketplace. So that was a critical piece for us. It also comes with the involvement of one of Europe's foremost graphite experts in ProGraphite. It's a name that would be well known to anybody in the graphite industry in Australia, North America, and throughout Asia. And they have a particular specialty expertise in industrial processing of graphite. The third party involved with the company is a company called Hensen Graphite, which is one of the world's most preeminent graphite producers at this point in time, and both through mining and also in downstream industrial markets and in downstream active anode materials markets. So that comes with an enormous credibility in their endorsement of this particular project. The fourth party involved is Graphite Investment Partners, who are a boutique investment firm and have been involved in the graphite industry for quite a considerable amount of time and have been involved with previous financings of the Skarland graphite mine in Norway. So they too bring a lot of European and graphite expertise to the table. So it's really the combination of those groups of partners that are contributing to the development of this project, which we found unbelievably appealing and pretty difficult to match in other jurisdictions. And that led us really into Europe. They clearly identified the opportunity to develop a new source of graphite supply. Europe, like all other Western markets, if you like, are really trying to ensure that the critical supply chain of their raw materials is secured. And this particular opportunity comes with the capability of procuring concentrates and the capability of selling our products into the established markets of Europe and consumers in Europe. So it really does tie together the whole supply chain for us. In Germany, in particular, the location of this asset is likely to be in a chemical park, which has got all of the infrastructure set up to be able to handle consumables and reagents, and has labour and power and all the other ingredients that you need to make a successful manufacturing facility. So there's just an incredible alignment of parties, incredible alignment of location, and I guess a strategy amongst all of the people and the groups involved.
Andrew, the project will support Europe's efforts to secure critical minerals in the face of rising geopolitical tensions and supply chain risk. How will this new facility complement your broader global growth plans, in conjunction, of course, with your Collie operation?
Yeah, so Collie is developing a micronizing capability. That capability will be scalable. It'll also be replicable in Europe and in potentially North America. So what we're really trying to do here is chase the markets and create our own markets ultimately for the Springdale project. So, this brings together a lot of opportunity for cash flow generation and partnership creation in these different markets. But ultimately, what we're really trying to do here is establish markets to be able to support the development of the Springdale Graphite Project, which is where the real sort of blue sky, if you like, in relation to our company sits.
The new plant is expected to produce 3,000 tons of product a year, and that's set to be operational if all things fall in shape by 2027. How does this joint venture position you as a secure graphite supplier to Europe?
Well, we'll be one of the most preeminent suppliers into Europe. Europe currently imports almost all of its graphite. So it consumes somewhere in the vicinity of 100 to 120,000 tonnes of graphite in various forms. Almost all of that is imported. And so to establish a dedicated facility inside of Europe will be one of the more recent facilities developed. And so it'll be an extremely exciting project, and it certainly brings opportunities for consumers to diversify their supply risk that they currently have, almost all of which is supply risk that is imported.
There's a fair bit to keep investors quite hooked, or potential shareholders as well. Is there anything that investors should keep in mind over the coming weeks now that this is locked in?
Yeah, look, we're working extremely hard here in Perth in relation to developing the Collie facilities. So design's well underway. We should have drawings and so forth into councils for approval over the next month or two. We've got a very dedicated team down in Collie working hard on that project at the moment. We would anticipate a bunch of announcements coming out of this European facility in relation to supply agreements, potential sales agreements, as well as engineering and design works to ensure that we meet our schedules that we're committed to. So a lot of parallel work streams going on here as well. And of course, we just continue to develop the Springdale Graphite Mine. And we're very encouraged at the moment that the market seems to have, over the last few weeks, shown a little more support for the graphite companies, and particularly we've seen some of the geopolitical issues that have popped up in the US in relation to tariff policy and so forth, and the way in which China had been previously pricing its products in the anode space. So we think there's a few tailwinds coming along for graphite. So we're working hard to try and capture them.
You're quite busy on multiple fronts there. This was International Graphite's Managing Director and CEO, Andrew Worland. Thank you for all those insights.
Great pleasure. Thanks.